When it comes to NES launch titles, I tend to have pretty low standards, and for good reason. I mean, obviously a tennis game from over 40 years ago isn't going to hold up well nowadays, is it? With that being said, Kung Fu really impressed me, and I'm going to tell you why. Although it doesn't get mentioned that much nowadays, Kung Fu actually has a very important place in video game history. Kung Fu is a port of an arcade game I've never played called Kung Fu Master. It was called Spartan X in Japan, though. Don't ask why, I have no idea. The arcade game was directed by Takashi Nishiyama, who went on to make Street Fighter 1 and Fatal Fury. The NES port was directed by Shigeru Miyamoto because of course it was. In fact, the side-scrolling parts of this game were inspiration for Mario. Don't you find it really weird that this game, which was extremely important in the creation of two of the biggest gaming franchises ever, barely gets mentioned nowadays? Because I do. Anyway, this game is a side-scrolling beat-em-up with one-on-one boss fights at the end of each level. You play as a guy named Thomas. Yeah, Thomas. Yeah, that is his actual name, I checked the manual. Anyway, good old Thomas is trying to rescue his girlfriend Sylvia from Mr. X? What? Okay, maybe make that 3 franchises which this game inspired. The controls are actually very similar to Street Fighter 1, except in this game they aren't the worst thing ever created by another human. You have to hit up to jump, which I've never been a huge fan of, but this is one of the first fighting games ever, so I'll let it slide. You can punch and kick, which it would be a bit concerning if you couldn't punch and kick in a Kung Fu game, so that's good. There are also low and high versions of each move, which you can perform by standing or crouching, which you do with down. In short, this game is Street Fighter 1, except it actually functions. This basically is just a Street Fighter prototype. It has the 2 health bars at the top of the screen, it has one-on-one fights with enemies that make absolutely no sense at all. All this game needs is a Hadouken and a sumo wrestler and a bath towel and it would be perfect. I said earlier that this was a beat-em-up game. In fact, it was the first beat-em-up game ever. It was inspired by Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan movies, which is pretty cool. It was also the inspiration for the Muscle Tower arc in the original Dragon Ball. It's kind of baffling how many things this game inspired. Anyway, when you boot the game up, you get a title screen, obviously. It's simple, but I really like the font and the little dragons on the sides. Anyway, there are 2 modes to choose from. A is easy mode and B is hard mode. It's always been a pet peeve of mine when modes on a title screen don't tell you what they are. I mean, sure, it's in the manual, but I can't read. Whenever you pick a mode, you'll find yourself going right to left. Good guys are supposed to go from left to right. Didn't they play Mario? Oh wait, it didn't exist yet. Never mind. Anyway, it's still really weird. The direction you go alternates from level to level. On odd number stages, you go left, and on even numbered stages, you go right. I don't really understand why you would put half the stairs on one side of the building and the other half on the other side of the building, but I'm not an architect, so I wouldn't know. I have to say, I absolutely love the stage design. It uses a lot of simple patterns and colors, but that's fine. It's not super impressive on a technical level, but it still looks really cool, which is all that matters. You know what else I'll give this game credit for? The background is blue, not black. I feel like Nintendo kinda went overboard with the black backgrounds in this era. I especially love the Chinese numerals that show you how far you are in the stage. Or are they Japanese? I don't know. Kung Fu is a Chinese martial art, but then again, this is a Japanese game. I mean, they use the same symbols, so I guess it doesn't matter, but still, it's really confusing if you think about it. Anyway, you'll always find the boss under the Chinese or Japanese number 6. It's actually more helpful than you think to know how far in a level you've gotten. Some of the bosses will cheap shot you, so it's good to know when they'll come up. I guess I should go through this game level by level. The first one introduces us to the purple-shirted Gripper. All that the Gripper can do is run at you and grab you until you die. No, I don't know how that kills you. It just does for some reason. There's also a knife thrower who's actually kind of challenging. His knives actually do quite a bit of damage and he throws them low or high, meaning you either have to duck or jump them. I'll admit he actually got me a good number of times. The first boss is a guy with a stick. His name is Stick Fighter. How original. There's one last thing I should mention about punching and kicking. Your kick has way more range, but it also gets you less points than punching. The bosses always give you a set number of points regardless of how you killed them though, so kick and tear until it is done. If you get 50,000 points, then you also get an extra life. Although it's just that one, you can't get any more after that, meaning that you're limited to 4 lives on each playthrough. Also, for some reason the manual calls extra lives extra players. Isn't that weird? I mean, imagine if every time you got a 1-up in a game, some guy just teleported to your living room. Anyway, the second level has jars falling from the ceiling. There are 3 kinds. There's the snake jar, which drops snakes that run at you. There's a dragon ball, haha, which drops a dragon that shoots fire. And a confetti ball, which shoots confetti shrapnel at you. The snake is easily the worst one because you can't kill it once it hits the floor. You have to jump over them, which is pretty hard to do when the jump button is up. But you know what? I actually don't mind this part. It's kind of fun to try to hit the jars in the air before they release whatever's in them. And it's nice to try to dodge things for a change. This level also introduces the tom-toms. Yeah, tom-toms. Again, don't ask, I have no idea. I don't know if they're supposed to be little people or children, but I do know that it's funnier to think that there's a licensed Nintendo game where you can punch children in the face. They can also flip over you and hit you on the head if you're ducking, but it doesn't happen consistently. The second boss is a guy who throws boomerangs at you. It's an okay fight, but there's something cheap about it. Oh, and also the boomerangs don't go away after you kill him, so be careful of those. The third stage is almost exactly the same as the first one, except harder. The third boss is this big guy. He's pretty easy. The fourth stage, though. Oh boy, the fourth stage. I have some words for this one. I hate this stage because it's a double whammy of total terribleness. The first 2/3 of the stage are dedicated to dodging moths. That's it. They come from these weird holes in the wall and attack you in a specific pattern every time. It's basically just a trial and error segment of memorizing exactly how to dodge and when to attack them, and it's not fun at all. Because you have to go back to the very beginning of the game every time you run out of lives, these moths wasted a lot of my time. But nowhere near as much time as the boss of this level. The Black Magician is one of my least favorite bosses ever. The first time I fought him, he just shot me with a fireball, and that was it. Game over. Went back to the title screen and everything. Went through the entire game again, got killed by the moths. Rinse and repeat for 30 minutes, and that's my experience with this boss fight. Sounds fun, doesn't it? He shoots fire at you, which killed me more times than I can even count. Also, trying to attack him in any other way besides a ducking punch will make his head fall off. Once you do that though, he'll just regenerate it, teleport away, and shoot you with fire. Woohoo! And guess where you end up every single time you die to him? Did you guess back at the moths? Well, congratulations, you win. Your grand prize is going through the moths over and over and over and over and over again. Congratulations. Because the game hates me, I guess, early on in my playthrough I actually managed to kill him, but he killed me at the same time. Lucky for my sanity, the 5th floor is way easier. It's just the 1st and 3rd floors again with nothing new. The final boss is Mr. X, who seems like a prototype to Ken from Street Fighter. He has all of your moves, and he's actually kind of tough. The good news is, though, if you just low kick as fast as you possibly can, he can't do anything to you. And after that, you walk off screen and congratulations, you've just beaten Kung Fu. There are a lot of parts of this game that annoyed me, but overall I'm really impressed. I mean, single-handedly creating an entire game genre is no small feat. Even the parts that I didn't like that much, I can still appreciate for bringing variety to the game. Unlike Ice Climber or Clu Clu Land, if I had bought this at the time, I wouldn't have felt ripped off at all. Congratulations, Kung Fu, you're the best launch title I've played so far, and the best black box game I've played so far. So where does Kung Fu fit on the ranking list? I guess I'll put it in 3rd place between Galaga and Mario Bros. Objectively, it's probably better than Galaga, but I'm biased, whatever. Anyway, 8 out of 10, thank you for watching, have a good day, like and subscribe, bye!